Hey everyone, and welcome back. Stop paying $20 a month for cloud AI subscriptions right now. Okay, maybe don't cancel them just yet, but the way we use AI is about to change. And by ondeviceai, running powerful AI directly on your own computer could become so practical that paying for cloud access will feel very different. Today, when you use ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or another AI service, the intelligence isn't actually running on your machine. Your request goes to a remote data center, the model processes it somewhere else, and the answer comes back over the internet. But what happens when your laptop or desktop becomes powerful enough to run highly capable models locally? No internet connection, no recurring inference fee, no sending every prompt or document to a remote server, and potentially no need for a subscription for the AI tasks you perform every day. This is Quantum Highway, and today we're looking at why ondeviceai could seriously disrupt cloud LM subscriptions by localai. Let's start with the subscription itself. $20 a month doesn't sound like a lot, but that's footo every year. Keep paying for 3 years, and you've spent on a single AI service. Now imagine you're subscribed to 2 or 3 different services because each one has different strengths. Suddenly, your AI bill can become several $100s every year. And here's the important part. You're not buying the AI, you're renting access to it. If you stop paying, your access to premium models, higher limits, and advanced features can change. But money isn't the only cost. There's also dependency. Your AI depends on an internet connection, the provider's servers, their availability, their pricing, and their policies. And then there's privacy. When you send a prompt to a cloud AI service, your data has to reach infrastructure outside your computer to be processed. For casual questions, that's probably not a big deal. But imagine you're working with proprietary source code, private business documents, financial information, or confidential research. That's where local AI starts becoming extremely attractive. Instead of bringing your data to the AI, you bring the AI to your data. And hardware manufacturers are already preparing for this shift. Apple, Qualcomm, NVIDIA, AMD, and others are putting dedicated AI acceleration directly into consumer devices. Modern laptops and smartphones increasingly contain MPUs specifically designed to handle neural network workloads efficiently. But there's an important detail people often miss. TOPS doesn't automatically equal AI performance. You can't look at an MPU's TOPS rating and assume it can suddenly run a massive language model at incredible speed. Large language models need memory, a lot of it. And they need enough memory bandwidth to continuously move model weights through the hardware during inference. That's why memory capacity, memory bandwidth, GPU performance, quantization, and software support are all incredibly important for local AI. And this is where modern consumer hardware becomes interesting. We're seeing systems with increasingly powerful AI accelerators and, in some architectures, large unified memory pools that can be shared across the CPU, GPU, and neural processing components. That doesn't make a consumer machine equivalent to a data center, but it makes increasingly large models possible on hardware that ordinary consumers can actually buy. Now let's talk about the Y billion parameter models. 70 billion parameters sounds enormous, and it is. But quantization changes the equation. By representing model weights using fewer bits, you can dramatically reduce the memory required to run a model. A heavily quantized high-low-B model can potentially fit into the memory of a high-end consumer system. But there's a catch: fitting the model is only half the problem. You still need to generate tokens at a useful speed. You need enough memory bandwidth. You need efficient inference software. And you need to prevent the hardware from throttling under sustained workloads. So the real question isn't, can my computer run a TLB model? The better question is, can my computer run it fast enough for me to actually use? And that's the threshold local AI is rapidly approaching for more and more workloads. Now imagine running the same type of task locally And through a premium cloud API, you can measure response latency. You can measure tokens per second. You can test short prompts. Then you can push both systems with long context and sustained generation. This is where things get interesting. A cloud provider has enormous infrastructure behind it. It can distribute workloads across specialized accelerators and massive memory systems. A consumer machine obviously can't compete with that scale. But local AI doesn't have to. It doesn't need to beat the cloud at everything. It just needs to be good enough for the things you do every day. Writing, coding, summarizing documents, brainstorming, research, private document analysis, local automation. For those tasks, the question becomes less about absolute performance and more about whether the local experience is fast enough. And once it crosses that usability threshold, the economics start changing. This is where the Fontour-La prediction becomes interesting. Open-weight models are becoming more efficient. Quantization is improving. Inference engines are getting better. Consumer GPUs are getting faster. NPUs are becoming standard. And memory capacity continues to increase. Put all of those trends together, and you get a simple result. The amount of AI you can run locally keeps increasing. Now imagine buying a powerful computer once you use one model today. 6 months later, you download another. A year later, there's a better open model. You upgrade your software and switch. You aren't necessarily paying another monthly inference subscription every time you change models. You own the machine, you control the environment, and you can decide what runs on it. That's fundamentally different from renting intelligence from a cloud provider. Privacy could be one of the biggest reasons local AI takes off. Think about a developer working with proprietary code, a business analyzing internal documents, a researcher working with unpublished information, or simply someone who doesn't want every conversation processed remotely. With local inference, the model can run entirely on your own hardware. Your prompt stays on the machine, your documents stay on the machine, and the response is generated locally. Of course, local AI isn't automatically secure. Your computer still needs proper security. Your model files and applications need to be protected. But you have much more control over the environment. And for businesses, that control could become extremely valuable. So what should you actually buy? Don't start by looking at the biggest AI number on the box. Start with memory. If you're interested in larger models, you need enough RAM or VRAM to actually fit them. Then look at memory bandwidth, then GPU or NPU performance, and finally, look at software support. A theoretically powerful chip isn't very useful if your preferred inference software doesn't support it properly. For getting started today, tools such as Ollama, LM Studio, Llama CPP, and other local inference frameworks make the process much easier. Download a compatible, quantized model, load it into your runtime, and you can start interacting with the model directly from your computer. No API key required. No cloud inference bill, and once the model is downloaded, you can potentially use it completely offline. So, should everyone cancel ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini today? Probably not. Cloud AI still has huge advantages: the biggest models, advanced reasoning, massive context windows, specialized tools, constantly updated infrastructure, and enormous computing resources. But you don't necessarily need the cloud for everything. If most of your AI usage involves everyday writing, coding, research, summarization, brainstorming, or private document work, local AI is becoming a serious alternative. The future could be a hybrid model. Use local AI for the majority of everyday tasks. Use the cloud when you need something your local hardware can't provide, and only pay for premium intelligence when you actually need it. And that's the bigger story behind ondeviceai. The future probably isn't going to be cloud AI versus local AI. It's going to be cloud AI and local AI, each handling different jobs. Cloud models will continue pushing the limits of what's possible. But your personal computer could increasingly handle the AI work you perform every day. And that changes the relationship we have with AI instead of renting intelligence indefinitely. You could own the hardware that runs it. Instead of sending every private document to a remote server, you could process it locally. Instead of asking whether your computer can run AI, you may eventually wonder why your computer can't. So by ondeviceai, the biggest change might not be that cloud AI disappears. It might simply become optional. And that could be a much bigger shift than it sounds. This is Quantum Highway. If you want more deep dives into local AI, AI hardware, open weight models, and the technologies changing personal computing, subscribe to the channel. Because the next generation of AI might not be something you access through a website. It might be something you own. I'll see you in the next one.